Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I hope you're all doing well. Thank you so
Yes.
much for joining us early. It's great to have you all here. This evening promises to be an exciting session, and I can't wait for us to dive into idea pitching and have a tech talk. But before we dive in, I'd like to take a few minutes to invite more people. Please let's share the link to our friends, our colleagues, and anyone you think would benefit from this discussion. And so I'll give us like 5 minutes to do that, and then we'll officially begin. My name is Ella, and I'm honored to be your moderator for this evening's session. Thank you once again.
Welcome.
One day I'll tell my daughter that her sister should come and greet you. Yeah, I'll do that. Bye.
Hi, good evening. For those of us who just joined, we are all welcome. And we are quickly sharing the link to our friends so that they also join. But whilst we do that too, I'd like to ask just one or two people what your expectations are for this evening session. And so please, if you want to talk, you can raise your hand. I'll call you, you unmute your microphone, and then you give your expectations. Or you can drop them in the chat as well, and I'll read them. Hi, good evening. Derek, please, are you giving your expectations?
Yes.
Okay. Please go on.
Please come again.
Please go on with your expectations. What you be expecting from this evening session?
Well, enlightenment is the main thing for me here. So I just want to learn something new and help impact in my life. That's all.
Okay. That's beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bismarck. Yeah. Hi, Bismarck. Okay. Please, is there anybody else who wants to share their expectations? Abbas, please, what are you expecting from this evening session?
Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes. Please, what are your expectations for this evening session?
I'll be expecting many things, including insights in the emerging technologies like AI, blockchain, and others.
Okay. Beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to hear from a lady. Hey. Hello, Kate. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. What are your expectations for this evening session?
Okay, I'm expecting to get more insights into the technological world, and then to be exposed more to some software, words, and other stuff.
Okay, beautiful. And the last person, Francisca. Hi, Francisca. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, please, what are your expectations for this evening session?
My expectations, I think they are all, like they've said all, so I'm expecting everything.
Yes.
They've said all.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. It's almost 5:10, and I did say we'll begin at 5:10, and so let's head straight into it. You're all welcome once again to this evening's session. And before we dive in, I'd like us to take an opening prayer from Francisca.
Okay, so please, you are praying. Okay, so our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this evening. Lord, as you're about to start this program, Lord, let protect everyone so that whatever we do here be of success. And at the end, we shall give you all the glory and the honor. This and many more we ask from you, through Jesus Christ, your Son. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Francisca. And moving on, we'll call Mr. Abednego Ehue to give us the purpose of the meeting.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, am I audible?
Hi. Yes, please, you are.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Ella. Thank you so much. And once again, you are all welcome to this evening's session. And so I entreat every one of us to, get a notebook, get a pen, because what we are going to receive from our speakers, they are mega. You understand? So kindly, get seated, get a stable network, and then enjoy the session. Thank you very much, Ella.
Thank you too. Thank you, Mr. Abednego. As he said, please get a notebook, get a pen, and let's learn something new this evening. And so I'd like to introduce our guest speaker, who is a powerhouse in the world of business, entrepreneurship, and impact. She is a visionary leader with expertise spanning digital marketing, consulting, nonprofit management, business development, mental health advocacy, and product management. She's a woman of excellence, and she has successfully navigated multiple industries while making a global impact. As a driving force behind the Boma Group of companies, she has steered subsidiary brands with remarkable efficiency, demonstrating resilience and innovation in challenging markets. Her work has earned her prestigious accolades across 4 continents, a true testament to her influence and dedication to excellence. Beyond business, she is deeply committed to empowering communities through initiatives like the Boma Prize for Africa Foundation and the Douglas Kinskuroy Foundation for Mental Health. She is changing lives. Her book, Of Love and Bruises, shed light on the African culture of abuse, urging parents and guardians to break toxic cycles and become more intentional in raising the next generation. And when she's not leading projects or advocating for young women and children, you might find her traveling around the world, making magic in the kitchen, or creating beautiful memories with her daughter, Atara. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me as we welcome the phenomenal Blessing Douglas with a round of reactions, please.
Wow. I like how you said with a round of reactions. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you too.
Hello.
Hi. Hello, Miss Blessing. Hi, Miss Blessing.
I think she's on mute, so if you can prompt her so that she on mute.
Okay, thank you so much. She said we should give her a second, and so she'll be with us shortly.
I am so sorry. I wasn't having a technical issue, but I had an important phone call. My apologies. How is everyone doing today? Hello.
Hi, you're doing well. Hello.
Yes, so thank you so much for having me. You've said it all, and I have nothing to add to that wonderful introduction. So I look forward to an amazing session.
Right. Hello, Miss Blessing. Please, you can continue.
Okay, so what would you? Yeah, you're asking me to continue. What would you like? What would you like me to share about? So I believe there are certain things you guys want me to share on. So I would be waiting for the questions and then I'll respond.
Sorry.
Hi, Miss Beth. Please, we'd just like to know about idea pitching and.
So when you say idea pitching, are you talking about when you apply to grants or when you apply for a business fellowship or when you apply for because there are different kinds of idea pitching, right? So do you want me to talk about the different types of idea pitching and how to go about them?
Yes, please.
Okay, so does anyone have any idea what idea pitching is all about? Has anyone here ever pitched before? Reactions, let me see. I want to see the reaction. I'm not seeing any reaction. So no one here has pitched before? Has anyone here pitched before? We have about 32 people.
Yes, please.
I'm not
Adonai
seeing,
said
should I? Okay.
they are sending
I'm
messages in
seeing,
the chat. So yes.
okay. I'm seeing yes, I'm seeing no. Okay, so we have different types of idea pitching, right? And idea pitching comes in various formats depending on your audience and also the purpose and the context. And some of the most common types of idea pitching include stuff like elevator pitches, because elevator pitches are the pitches that you do for businesses, right? When you're trying to get someone interested in your business or you're trying to get an investor to give you money to maybe start up a business or to scale a business. With an elevator pitch, you're having a very brief, compelling summary, which is usually about 30 to 60 seconds. And it's designed to capture the interest of the person you're pitching to really quickly. Because as you all know, people do not have patience nowadays. Attention span continues to reduce on a daily basis because of different factors, and I'm not going to go into those factors just so that we're staying on course. And these are also often used in networking events, startup competitions, or chance encounters when, for instance, you run into someone who you believe that can be helpful to your business or you can support your idea, and they tell you, oh, the person is trying to catch a flight. You only have 60 seconds. So it means that with elevator pitches, and in trying to pitch your idea through an elevator pitch, you always have to be ready. With this kind of pitches, if they wake you up from, can you mute if you're not speaking, please? Or so that I'm not, is, thank you. So with this kind of pitch, what happens is that this is kind of pitch where they say that if they wake you up from sleep at any day or any time, you should be able to sell yourself. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Am I communicating? You can let me know in the comments if you understand what I'm saying or if not. So it doesn't feel like I'm just speaking. So in the comment section, if you understand what I'm saying, please wave. So you want to be ready. You know how they say opportunity meeting preparation, or preparation rather meeting opportunity is where success happens. So when you're always prepared and then the opportunity comes up, that is your moment for an elevator pitch, right? And then you have a formal investor pitch, where sometimes you're given the opportunity to understand what the investor is looking for, their area of interest, their area of expertise. And in those kinds of situations, you're able to use that information to develop a structured pitch, which is typically delivered in front of a panel of investors or venture capitalists. So this one is not something that happens by chance. It's something where you're given a date, a time, you know who is coming, so you have the time to go and prepare yourself so that you can attend. And so you're presenting before a panel of investors and venture capitalists. And sometimes these people include you have to include like financial projections in your presentation, in your pitch deck. You have to include market analysis and a clear business model. You cannot go to a formal investor pitch without including a financial projection, market analysis, and clear business model in your pitch deck. You cannot achieve that without your pitch deck. And so that is why it's very important. A pitch deck and pitching is like bread and butter. So they go hand in hand, because you cannot explain or explain your projections and all of that without showing evidence. And so your pitch deck helps you to put together your evidence, so that as you're saying or speaking to those investors, you're able to show them your evidence, empirical evidence, so that they can see that it's show and tell, you're telling the truth. So I've gone over elevator pitching, I've gone over formal investor pitching. Now let's talk about business plan pitch. Now, a business plan pitch is a detailed presentation that covers all aspects of your business idea. And for some people, beyond just talking about pitching for investors, there are some people that want to see the full picture. Some people just care about your financials. Okay, as long as you're doing well, fine, we'll invest. But some people want to see the entire business plan, because you may be doing well, but did you take a loan from the bank? Is there a lien on your business? How many business owners are involved? Who have you given shares to? What is your liquidity? What is the lifespan of your business? Does your business look like something that will collapse in 2 years, or it will last longer than 5 years? Now, just sharing projections and market analysis is not enough to know that. For anyone who wants to have shares in the business and probably be a part of the business on the long term, they're going to do an overhaul of trying to basically investigate your entire business structure. And this is where your business plan pitch comes in, because they want to be confident that from the foundational level up to the point that you're in, that you are solid. Another reason why this is also important is if you're at the ideation stage. If you're at the ideation stage in business and you're trying to convince people to have a buy-in into your business, you want to be able to have a solid business pitch that carries them from the foundation, from the very beginning, to where they can see the light at the end of the tunnel in terms of your business being a successful business. So for a business plan pitch, you need to have a detailed presentation that covers all aspects of a business idea, which is what you're trying to move, because as a business idea, you've not pilot tested, you don't have your proof of concept. So it's still an idea. So you have to carry them through the business idea, through the proof of concept, through the operations, through the market strategy, and through the financials. You have more work to do when you haven't done any work. So it is easier for someone who has actually pilot tested, has a proof of concept, has done gone into the market, made some sales, can show analytics and everything. That person can easily get support because there's a proof of what they've already done. But if you're still at the ideation stage, you'll have more work to do, because why should somebody trust you with their money or their support when you haven't even taken the bold step to go into the testing stage? Are you guys following? Am I communicating?
Yes, please.
Okay. So that's for your business plan pitch. Now, the next kind of pitch we have is your sales pitch. Now we have there's an entire industry for sales. So now I'm going towards people that beyond, because there are people who are entrepreneurs and starting up businesses and they need to be conversant with elevator pitch, formal investor pitch, and business plan pitch. But there are people that probably are not entrepreneurs, but they have a job in sales where they have to sell a product. You also need to know how to do a sales pitch. Every career and every aspect of our lives, there's always a pitch that has to be made, either to end something or to prove something, right? The sales pitch focuses on persuading potential customers or clients to buy your product or services. Everyone on social media selling something is doing a sales pitch through your Instagram caption, through the TikTok trends, through the Instagram reels. It's a sales pitch. You're giving somebody a reason why they should choose you over the next 10,000 other people out there selling the same product or service that you're selling. So a sales pitch focuses on persuading potential customers or clients to buy a product or service. Now, it also highlights the key benefits and competitive advantage and the solution to customers' pain points. Because why should I choose you over the next person? What is the difference between you and that person? Now, that difference is your selling point. What is person B doing that you are doing differently, or what is person B not doing that you are doing? Sometimes it doesn't even have to do with, oh, this person is selling at 250 and I'm selling at 100 cities. Sometimes beyond the pricing, a good sales pitch should actually not depend on pricing, because if you master how to do a good sales pitch, you could even sell higher than the person that is selling at 250 and still convince somebody to choose you over that person. It could be about the quality, it could be about the problem that you're solving, which is the pain point. It could be about the solutions, that you're providing. Now, let me give you an example. I'm as a business owner and being in business in this environment, AI is taking on a lot of jobs, and being in the digital marketing space and consulting space, there's so many things that AI is doing to take away jobs from us. And when you go out there and talking to businesses to patronize your brand, what sets you apart from the other people that they give their money to? For me, what I found that set us apart is the social impact. You know how good it is when people feel like, oh, when you tell people that, look, by supporting this business, we're not only solving your problem, but guess what? There's someone somewhere in Africa's life that you're impacting because you patronize our business. You're improving the quality of life of people that you do not know. You're contributing to social impact, and you're contributing towards achieving some of the SDG goals that fall under the thematic areas that we work in. So you're appealing to their emotions, and they now begin to see that, oh, these other people are out there just to make profit for themselves, but you have a sense of humanity, and you're standing out by making sure that even though you're trying to be profitable, you're also at the same time trying to impact lives and alleviate poverty. Does that make sense? So you can still charge what those other people are charging, or even more, but because you have appealed to their emotions and and their sense of empathy, they would patronize you over the other person. And also there's another kickback, especially in this part of the world, which is what we call taxes. For when people file taxes here, there are certain things they're able to write off their taxes as a contribution or a donation. And so the value excuse me, the value of the value of whatever thing that they contributed or paid, they can write off a portion of it off their taxes, because we're going to give them a receipt for that. And so, oh, even though I spent $300 to get this stuff done, I can write off maybe $50 out of it as my contribution to the company for the social work that they're doing. Now, do you see the selling point there? So for you guys in Africa, there are so many other areas and so many things that you can research and key into how you can stand out from your competition and still be able to earn as much or even more with a good sales pitch. Now we go on to product demonstration pitch for people that deal with products and not services. Your product demonstration pitch involves showing how your product works. You cannot have a product demonstration pitch without having your products with you, or without knowing how your product works, or even how to demonstrate, do a live demonstration or show a prototype of how your product is going to solve someone's problem. And this is very effective for tech startups, since we're talking about tech today. It's very effective for tech startups, new gadgets or innovations, innovative solutions. You see when the Apple brings out a new phone, you see all of these ads talking about all the features of the iPhone 16, iPhone 17, iPhone 12, iPhone 13. All of that product demonstration pitch and strategy is to convince you that, oh, the phone you're currently using is now out of season and it's become redundant. It's time to move on to the next one. The power of product demonstration and pitch is what convinces people to rush to buy the newest gadgets. And it's all part of how they make these trends and make people chase new things, even though what you currently have is functional. So far I've mentioned 5, which is elevator pitch, formal investor pitch, business plan pitch, sales pitch, product demonstration pitch. Now we have social impact pitch. If you're in the nonprofit industry, that is where this is the kind of pitch you should learn and know how to do, because this kind of pitches get towards social enterprises, nonprofits, and CSR projects. So for corporate sectors, most corporate sectors have what you call CSR, corporate social responsibilities. And when they're encouraging their customer base or clients to donate or to support or be a part of the projects that they're affiliated with, this is the kind of pitch that they want to know how to do. For social enterprises, when you're trying to convince someone to patronize your business, you want to show the social impact aspect of it. And for nonprofits, if you're trying to convince someone to give you funding, donations, or even apply to grants, you need to know how to do a social impact pitch, because this will focus on the mission of your organization, the impact your organization has or is having, and the sustainability of the initiative rather than just profit, right? So that's for social impact. Now, if you're in the media and PR industry, you need to know how to do media and PR pitch. And this is aimed at journalists, bloggers, or influencers so that they can gain media coverage. Usually, this is presented in a very short and engaging story format because, again, people's time attention span is limited. And so there are so many others, which includes like internal corporate pitch that's usually used internally in organizations. And that's how like the managers and the executives have all of these conference meetings and engage their employees and talk to them about the direction the company is going and stuff like that for briefings. And of course, if you're a scientist or a researcher or in the academic field, you also know how to do science and academic pitch, what we call project defense. When you're defending your project or your thesis and stuff like that. And if you're going in for a competition, like the Boma Prize, you have to know how to prepare for a competition pitch, because people are going to be up there trying to get what you're trying to get, and you have to be able to stand out. So each type of pitch requires a different approach, but they all share a common goal. And the common goal is convincing the audience to take action. So which type of the kind of action you want them to provide is what will inform how you package and prepare your pitch. So these are the different types of pitches that I believe are very vital and important to you in regard to if you're in the business, if you're in social enterprise or nonprofit, if you're in sales, which this all covers if you're in product or services, this covers all aspects, right? And so at this point, I believe I've touched on every area, and I would hand over back to the moderator.
Hi. Thank you so much,
I only
Blessing.
I only have 30 minutes, and I want to take maybe 1 or 2 questions before I go. So first of all, I want to be sure that I covered all the areas that you guys wanted me to cover. Did I do justice to that?
Yes, please.
Okay, great. And then are there any questions for me before I go?
Please, if you have any questions, kindly drop them in the chat, or you can raise your hand and I'll call you to speak. Hi, Derek, are you asking a question?
Yes. Hello?
So the Boma Prize,
Okay,
so
please
I
go
can
on.
see a question here that says Boma Prize. The Boma Prize is a pitch-based competition where people have ideas and businesses can apply to pitch their ideas. The winners go walk away with about 20,000 US dollars. I believe Edna is here, and Edna will be able to share more about that. But applications will be open soon. So if you want to know more about what we do, you can follow us on social media, Boma Prize, or follow us on our website, bomaprize.org, and you will learn more about what we do. But for the most part, it's all about pitching properly and having access to funding to scale your business. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I apologize. I have a very tight schedule, so I have to run.
Yes, please. Someone wanted to ask you a question, and so I want him to ask before.
Okay, who's asking next?
Derek, please go ahead.
Yeah. So as a young man, how would I incorporate AI with my business ideas?
Have you already pilot tested your business, or are you in the ideation stage?
I'm in that stage, the latter one.
Okay, so what is the nature of your business?
So it's mainly based on software development, where people can use, they can search for, shopping ideas, tech equipment. It's more or less like an Alibaba phase 2, something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so there are several ways. A lot of automations can help. But we have to be able to, for this kind of question, we have to be able to review your prototype. We have someone in our network that works
Okay.
with startups. His name is Kelly. And if you leave your information with Edna and stay in touch with us, we may be able to review your business and then see how we can help you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much for having me, everyone. Have a blessed rest of your day.
Next lesson. Right, so we'll be moving straight into the panel discussion. And to do that, we have our moderator who is going to facilitate the panel discussion. And so I'd like to invite him to take over.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, am I audible enough?
Yes, please, you're audible.
Okay, thank you very much, Emanuela, and thank you, Blessings, for the insight you've shared with us. We are so grateful for that. So my name is Frederick, and I'm going to be your moderator for to the Tech Talk session. So first of all, good evening, everyone. Good morning, wherever you are joining us from. Thank you all for being here today. It's great, and it's great to see such a vibrant and such a vibrant students and entrepreneurs wanting to know more about tech and how they can leverage technology in their day-to-day activities, and also how they can use it to create global opportunities. And today I'm going to be moderating the session, which is going to be mainly tech talk. We are going to cover from many aspects in terms of the role of AI in entrepreneurship, and also how well our panelists were able to move from Ghana to the global stage where they are making differences, or they are making names over there. So first of all, I would like to introduce our first panelist. So our first panelist is in the name of Felix Sam. So Felix Sam is an AI and machine learning specialist. He's also a tech educator, and he's also very interested in robotics. Felix has his experience in machine learning. At Node 8, he has also contributed to innovative AI solutions, and he's also the current CEO of TechWatt, and he's also dedicated driving technological advancement and empowering the next generation of engineers and problem solvers. So with a reaction, let's welcome our first panelist, that's Felix Sam Nano. So I want to see some reactions in the comment section. Welcoming our first panelist, Felix Sam Nano. You are welcome, Felix. Hello, Felix. Please, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, please, we can hear you. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you guys for having me, and thanks for the reactions. I like them.
Okay, thank you very much, Felix. So our next panelist is in the person of Bridget Dia. So Bridget is a software engineer and alum of the African Science Academy. She has spent her career navigating the tech industry, most innovative spaces in some of the world's biggest tech companies such as Google. Over the years, Bridget has developed a passion for empowering women in STEM across Africa. She's dedicated to helping women find their place in the tech world and fostering a more inclusive community. Inspired by her own journey and experiences, she currently works at Netflix as an Android engineer, where she contributes to the live and art stream. So ladies and gentlemen, with reactions, let's welcome Bridget Dia.
Hi. It's an honor to join you. Yeah.
Yes, we are also honored to have you on board, Bridget. Oh, I want to see more reactions in the comment section. Okay, thank you very much, Bridget. Our next panelist is in the person of Adonai Ado. So Adonai is a software engineer and a former National Science and Maths quiz contestant. Adonai has interned and worked in big tech companies over the past 3 years. During his period, he has built frameworks and infrastructure that support and leverage bleeding edge artificial intelligence. With his experience at Microsoft and Meta, formerly known as Facebook, Adonai has grown to have the conviction that Africa can achieve the height of Silicon Valley through passion and underlying perseverance, and co-create. He's a co-founder of Bitmort, which is to help the young youth or Africans to achieve their dreams and others. So ladies and gentlemen, with a reaction, let's welcome Adonai Ado. Oh, I want to see more reactions in the comment section. So Adonai, we want to also hear from you. Yes, thank you very much.
That was a very nice intro. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Yes, so before we even start with the main questions, before we start with the main thing, at least because most of the attendees here or the participants here, they are into the tech space, majority happen to be students and others. I want to ask our panelists, if you could master any tech skill or programming language, what will it be? And I want Adonai to tackle that question for me. If you could instantly master any tech skill or programming language, what will it be and why?
I think that's a phenomenal question. So It probably depends on the time you ask me this question. So if you were to ask me this question in the 2010s or the 2000s, I would say web development, app development. I think those were running the past 2 decades. Right now, those skills are still extremely important, and I would encourage everybody to learn how to make a full stack web application from scratch or using some frameworks. But as you all know, the most popular things happening in the world right now is artificial intelligence and machine learning. You just have to, you just have to learn this stuff because a lot of things are going to change. And seeing it firsthand, I'm very sure so many things are going to change. There are some things I can't say on this call, but a lot of things are going to change over the next 2 decades. And it's best not to be left behind. It's best to even be ahead of the curve. And so I'd encourage everybody to learn the fundamentals at least.
Okay. Thank you very much, Adonai, for that insight. So, since it's made mention of artificial intelligence, I want Felix Sam, you two, if you are to currently, let's say, if you are to learn anything new in the artificial intelligence space, what will it be and why? Felix, I think you're on mute. Sorry.
I hope you can hear me now. Am I
Yes,
audible?
please. Yes, please.
Okay, so if I could understand your question properly, you're asking if I should learn something new now in artificial intelligence, what will it be?
Yes. Yes, please.
Okay, so just as Mr. Adonai made mention, artificial intelligence is not something you can just start and dive into. You have to make sure you really master the fundamentals, which is expected of everyone. You can't just wake up and build stuff. Uh, hey, please, those who are not speaking or something can kindly mute their microphone. So bad.
Please, Abednego, if you can mute the others, those who are not having anything to say, if you can mute them for us, we will be grateful. Okay, Felix, please, you can continue.
Yeah, so to learn something, it has to be the fundamentals. Okay, what is AI? Understanding AI as a whole, and then following a particular roadmap, like say, and even in the AI scene, we have different aspect of it. We made mention of machine learning. We mentioned about computer vision. Even when you come into the AI space, we have natural language processing. So it's like a name called AI, but when you get into the AI, we have various aspects of it. So, as a beginner, you just have to start from the fundamentals and also get a fair idea about your direction because the direction is very key.
Okay, thank you very much, Felix. And Bridget, you two, if currently you are to learn anything new, what would that be and why will you choose to learn that?
Oh. I think for me, I don't know a lot about artificial intelligence. And if I'm to choose, I'll choose. Sorry.
I'm sorry, Bridget. Please, Emanuela, please stay on the call and try as much as possible to mute everyone who is not supposed to be talking. Thank you very much. So, Bridget, we can continue.
If I'm to pick something I would like learn a lot, I'll say mobile development, so like both iOS and Android, because I feel like now everyone like uses their mobile phones a lot, so like trying to venture into that aspect of software development.
Okay, thank you very much. And I think we are now about to start. So if your friend, you need to invite somebody. If somebody is supposed to be here, the person is not here at the moment, you can share the link with the person. Some are also watching on YouTube, so you can alert them to join on the YouTube so that they can also join the conversation. So that was a great start, and we are going to dive into the first aspect of the tech talk. The first aspect, we are going to be looking at the challenges and opportunities in the African tech ecosystem. Specifically, we'll be looking at it in the Ghanaian concept because our panelists, one way or the other, have been in Ghana or they have stayed in Ghana, so they know the in and out of the Ghanaian tech ecosystem before moving to the Silicon Valley or wherever that they find themselves. We'll be exploring how the young people can leverage technology to create global opportunities and the challenges they face and how mentorship and network can play a role in their success. So, Bridget, this question is for you. How can young people in Ghana leverage technology to create global opportunities for themselves?
Okay. So I would say like first and foremost, trying to learn like a skill, so like online learning and skill development. I think there are a lot of platforms for that, like Udemy, LinkedIn Learning. Trying to pick a skill, something that you are interested in, something like you want to learn more about, and try to learn the fundamentals and like also grow in that particular skill so that you can like have something that you want to like apply for and like that you really want to like do, find like a passion for it. And also, I'll talk about like having like kind of a startup, not like a big thing, but like having like something going on for you, like building something, having like a side project as you're in school, as you're working, and like being innovative with like those startups, and also looking for other like remote opportunities. Since like I think it's kind of very difficult to find tech opportunities in Ghana, trying to like leverage LinkedIn to find like remote opportunities outside of Ghana, also like in other places.
Okay, so thank you very much. Felix, we also want to take your view or your perspective. We want you to add your perspective on it.
Okay, so the question is how can Ghanaians leverage technology to create a global impact? And for that, I think technology. Who is okay? I think one thing we all understand, or one thing every Ghanaian or everybody at all in the world understand, that technology is for everybody, it's for every country. It's not made for any group of people. And to leverage technology, I as a person believe you have to learn some digital skills. You have to master digital skills. Okay, like let's say you acquire skills in coding, you acquire skills in data science, digital marketing, and so on. So if you have these skills, you can have international recognition, or you can apply for international opportunities, and then you can also become very relevant to your society. Whatever you learn, you can have impact in other people's life. You can also try as much to participate in global platforms or global programs where you can also let's say there is hackathons, international hackathons. You can partner with teams and then you participate, thereby just getting the global recognition. So it's about getting a skill. That's how I see it. Though there is some challenges to it though, but the first step is to get a skill. Then from there you can, I think, open many doors.
Okay, so as we are hearing more about the opportunities and other things, are there also some challenges, or what are some of the challenges that hinders or that has become a biggest hurdles to most of the young Ghanaians who are looking to enter into the tech space, and how can they overcome it?
Oh, okay. So in terms of challenges, if you are in Africa, let's say the system have, let's say, one way or the other knocked you down. Um, just as our sister Bridget made mention of, getting opportunities from this side is very hard. It's very hard. So there are a lot of gaps there. Let's say limited to resources. You don't get many resources, insufficient resources in terms of internet connections. We are aware of that. Even sometimes joining meetings such as this is a problem. You just join meeting and you are log out. So that's a very big problem. And we know to thrive in this tech ecosystem, you need a very fast internet. You also need a very stable electricity. So these are some of the challenges we face in Africa as young guys or ladies and gentlemen who want to thrive in the tech ecosystem. Okay, even though there are challenges, and in every country, I believe there are challenges, but as always, these challenges shouldn't, let's say, set us back up. Due to this challenge, we say we are not going to, let's say, become engineers, or we are not going to become good people who know learn technology and change our own country. It shouldn't be like that. So if you want to thrive, even though there are problems, then I think one thing that can set you apart is the passion. Okay, the passion to do it. If you have that passion, even though there is no electricity, even though there is no stable internet connection, you always find one way or the other not to, let's say, give up.
Okay, thank you very much, Felix. So Adonai, you happen to stay in Ghana also for some time before moving to the US, where you are currently working at Meta. I want to also ask, do you think these challenges are unique to Ghana, or they are similar to what other countries also face?
That's a good question. I think everybody has their own issues. In the US, issues like what our brother Felix just said, like internet and stuff, they are not a big issue. These are problems that were solved like a long time ago, and things work. But there's a downside to that. So one thing that I've realized is, here in Silicon Valley, everybody's trying to build a startup, right? Everybody's trying to do something. Only problem is many of the things they're trying to build don't solve any problem. They're not helping anybody. They're not doing anything. But in Ghana, we have the problems. In Africa, we have existential problems that, if you don't solve these problems, you can't chop the next day.
Yeah.
So we are, yes, we are hustling and we are getting it done. The good thing about this is that there are problems out there waiting for people like us to solve, and people who are learning all of these skills. We can jump on these problems and solve them. Here, there are the resources, but it's hard to find the problems. The problems that you find are very complex problems that are tough to solve without a lot of capital or computation power. But then in Ghana, just wake up, look left, right. You see problems. And where there are problems, there are opportunities. And if you can look at it a different way and try to think, how can I solve? Then you are starting to go down the entrepreneurial route, which is what we are talking about right now. It all starts with the problems that are around us. The problems are not the same in any two countries. It doesn't mean any one person is any one entrepreneurial person is better off here or there. There are pros and cons of both sides, but you really have to hustle. You have to hustle, you have to figure it out. I think the things like this is where great people are made. If you're able to really work through this, because I know it's very tough. I built a startup in Ghana, Bismuth, and it was so difficult to serve Ghanaian companies because many people are not as interested in tech solutions. I mean, yeah, many people are not as interested in the solution you're looking to provide, because if they spend money on your solution, they have to figure out how they'll survive for the next couple months. Rather, maybe your solution will help them do well a year out, 2 years out, but they are trying to survive for 6 months. And so they are not looking to utilize that solution. And there's so many problems with that. So I know that developers in Ghana are really struggling to make things work. But I want you to also appreciate that every problem that you have is an opportunity for you to make something out of it. So that's one way to look at it. So just kind of, look at it from a different lens, and
Different lane. Okay.
you might be
Okay.
happy.
Thank you very much, Adonai. Please, if you have any question, make sure to drop it in the comment section so that I'll try as much as possible to tackle all for you. And Adonai, this one again is for you. As we are talking, we are making you made us understand that the system here is different from the one in the US and other things. And being at Silicon Valley, if not for anything, I have friends also there, and most of the time interacting with them, they make me understand that they are being mentored by people who have already made it in those tech spaces. So my question for you is mentorship and networking. How can we Ghanaians, or how can we, the youth in Ghana, leverage on this to also strive or to make it better in the Ghanaian ecosystem?
To make what exactly better? The mentorship, or to make our
let's
life?
say our life better in terms of how building our startups, tech startups, and other things.
Yeah. So one thing you have to think about when looking for a mentor is you want to look for people who have done what you are trying to do. You want to look for people like that, people who have done what you are trying to do before. It's not someone who has inherited or someone who just has wise sayings and this or that, or someone who has read books. You need someone who has done this stuff and they know your pain. They know your pain firsthand. And those kinds of people, they can empathize with all of your struggle. They can empathize with everything you're going through. And that's what I would say in the beginning in terms of selecting a mentor. Try to think of, what do I want? I want this. Who has that? And find that person. Whichever way you find that person, find that person. You can network. You can find your way to anybody. At least in the US, it's easier with platforms like LinkedIn. Everybody's there. Twitter, everybody's there. I mean, in Ghana too, we use all these platforms, but here it seems almost everybody's everywhere on the internet. So it's easy to find people. But I'm pretty sure there's still things you can leverage to reach this person and then this person and then this person, and then find whoever it is you want to select as your mentor. That's the first thing. That's from you, the mentee's perspective. From the mentor's perspective, you have to understand that even though the mentor has achieved a lot, when they see a hustler like you, they see themselves in you, they see their younger selves. Charlie, I've been here before, I know the pain you're feeling, and they are willing to help. I think I grew up having the perspective, everybody told me everybody around you, is looking out for themselves, and everybody's struggling in Ghana, so everybody is trying to fend for their own pocket. But you look around you, you see a lot of kindness as well. So you have to realize that you just have to touch the right strings, and then you know that people are actually willing to help, and people are willing to help. This is why you guys have this platform. You are trying to help all of these people who are really trying to work through the weeds and make this happen. And so people are willing to help. Mentors are really willing to help. And mentors have the connections. They built the connections when they were coming up, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can leverage them and their connections to get the funding, to get the resources, to get the expertise that you are looking for, and they'll drive you in the right direction and catch you when you're making mistakes and all these things. Mentorship is a fundamental part of success in general, and especially when things are hard, especially in our motherland. You need mentors. You need to find the people who are where you want to be and find a way to make them your mentor. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, you have actually touched on all the key points that I wanted you to clarify. Thank you very much. Bridget, this one too is for you. I know you intend at Google first before moving fully as a software engineer to Netflix. I want to ask, how did mentorship or network help you in your career? Moving from Google to Netflix, how did mentorship and networking help you in this career?
A lot. So I would say, like, for my first internship, I was at Qualcomm, and I got that through like a mentor that gave me like the referral to like go through the interview process. So like here it's like all they can do is like to get you the interview, and then from there everything is in your hand. So I think like I met them like on LinkedIn. I think one person reached out to me, and the person is not in tech, but then I started speaking to her, and then she introduced me to somebody else in tech that works at the place that I wanted to go to. And then we started talking for some time. And I told them, hey, I'm looking for an internship. Like, is there a way for you to help me? And they were like, yeah, I can refer you, but then that's the most I can do. And then and like it didn't just end at them referring, but they also like tried to talk to me about like the tech industry itself and how to like put myself out there, and also like how to, like things that I could do, because I was like really new to computer science when I came here and new to coding, like everything. So like they introduced me like the different things that I could do. And I think like that was kind of like very helpful in like setting my foot into the tech world. And even like now, I think I like at the workplace too, we still like get mentors that like go through like the whole experience as a new grad with us. Just like very, very like helpful for me as like someone that just come out of college. And so I think like mentorship has been like a really, really big part of me like in the tech world, and
Wow.
very helpful.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. So, the participant here, we have heard from our panelists most of the time. LinkedIn, Twitter, and other things are places where you can search and find mentors, and communities like NEGOS HuB too is there to help you. So, before we even leave you, make sure you directly connect with someone, directly get to know someone, because the connections are actually built on platforms like this. When you get to attend tech talk and conferences, you get to connect with great minds like this. So moving on to Felix. Felix, I know you have worked in different companies remotely and other things. I want to ask Felix, what key changes do you think we need to bring or need to happen in the Ghana's tech ecosystem to support innovation and entrepreneurship? I don't know if I'm clear. Like, what changes do you think need to happen in Ghana's tech ecosystem to better support the innovation and entrepreneurship? Let's hear your thought on that, Felix.
Okay, that's a good question. It's a good one, and I would love to answer it. So, in Ghana, we have some major problems which are taking us back. Like I can go through the comment section. Most people, someone just said he has a product, but he doesn't. He's even lacking, let's say, capital to put it out there. And these are some of the problems. Anyone at all, anyone who is a techie who is in Ghana, have been through this situation before, unless of course you are not a techie. But I believe most people. Adona mentioned the same thing when he was also in Ghana. Like he faced this same problem. So I think techies in Ghana, like our voices are not heard. Let's say there is no real big competition out here in Ghana whereby you participate, you win, and you get a very big grant, right? For somebody who has this kind of product who wants to publish. And even let's even not go far through, let's say, grant and those kind of stuff. Let's even the situations we face trying to develop stuff is something big. Let's say constant light outs. Our lights are not stable. Electricity problem here and there, and then also internet problem. So the internet is one very big issue that like you face every now and then, and always I find a way to talk about it, because without internet there is nothing you can do. So ways of solving this is up to, let's say, our ministers, because this is not something the young ones can do. This is not something someone who is learning tech can do. These are not problems you can solve. There is no good internet in the country. You can't do anything about that. You can only force yourself to thrive beyond this and become someone better, right? So I think if the people at the higher stage or the higher level can do things like this, can think about tech in this way, and then work on things like this, it will be like it will make a whole lot of sense. And also back to us as citizens of Ghana, we are also having problems because most of us here in Ghana, or our parents, our siblings, most people here in Ghana don't even believe in technology. Yeah, I quite remember when I was in school by then, we developed an AI product. We showcased at Kantaka's Innovation Center. Most people love it, but it's a man who came to ask a question I never forget the whole of my life. He just told us what you have done is good, it's very innovative, but one way or the other, he's not in the agreement that he doesn't think Ghanaians are ready. Especially, he says he doesn't think Ghana is ready for AI. So even though the product is good, he don't think Ghana is ready for AI. So like it will be even very hard to what patronize AI or patronize that particular product. Yes, and I thought of it. He's right because he's just right because that's the mindset in the people, and with that mindset, you can see the mindset alone can like kill your, let's say, that particular vim you have, that you have to bring something up or you have to do something. The mindset alone can take you back. I've heard a lot of people who said, okay, based on people's advice, based on people's feedback, they have to quit their whole tech journey. They have to divert into other industries because they think you can't make it here as a tech personnel, or you can. So there are a whole lot of problems, or the whole lot of things retarding our growth as techies in the country, and most of these problems um are at the highest level. They are not things personally the people in the tech ecosystem can fix. Okay, they can just try their best, or yeah, better say you just have to try your best and then you make it out of it. But those
Well,
problems, I think they are not something we as the youth can fix.
wow, 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 wow. So Felix has actually taken it from the point where we as individuals we need to actually play our role. Our ministers, everybody needs to play a role so that we get an ecosystem, a tech ecosystem where everybody at the end of the day, the next generation will not come to meet the same thing. As most of the time you go to program, you see people come to they come to give big talks. At the end of the day, nothing is done about it. So you here, you being a techie, an entrepreneur, whatever skill set that you have, you need to make sure that you leave a legacy that the next generation coming will not suffer, but they will what leverage on what you have also left behind. So moving fast forward, Adonai, I want you to look at this. You are at the Silicon Valley. You are at Silicon Valley. You know what is going on in the Silicon Valley. I want to ask, what actually is happening in Silicon Valley that Ghana here we are not doing? What is the difference between what is going on in the Silicon Valley in terms of the entrepreneurs, tech entrepreneurs, and those of us here in Ghana, what you are doing there and what we are not doing?
So, I think one of the people that you should really open your ears to when you're speaking is Felix. Felix is saying some hardcore real stuff. Life as an entrepreneur is generally hard in Ghana. The thing is hard. The thing is hard. I was even here when we started Bismuth, and all of our developers were in Ghana, and still that thing was extremely hard. And so just putting that out there, entrepreneurship in Ghana is hard. It's hard everywhere, but in Ghana, it's extremely hard. But one of the things that has helped entrepreneurs here in the US, especially in Silicon Valley, is that it's a culture. It's a culture. Here, you like think about it, right? From in the 20th century, 1900s to like 1970s, 80s, we moved from not being able to fly at all, unless it's a hot air balloon or something, to being able to fly to the moon. That's crazy. In less than 100 years. To me, to the fact that we've been able to land on the moon. And it's because it's a culture of continuous improvement. Continuous improvement. 1970s, 1980s, we had the first ever personal computers. They didn't even have monitors that came with them. You couldn't even put, you type stuff, nothing happens. You just wait and pray that your code is correct. And we've moved from there to being able to to have conversations with our computers. It's crazy. It's just a culture of continuous improvement. And if you slack, someone is going to, overtake you. And everybody knows how hard it is. So everybody's helping each other. It's a culture. It's a culture, So I think one of the biggest differences is in Ghana, we are now adopting this culture, and it's something that we really have to work on. I think Felix said something earlier along the lines of how we really need to the developers in Ghana, life is hard already. We need to look out for each other and build up, because it has to be a culture. It has to be something where um people know each other. Here in Silicon Valley, people know each other. Sam Altman knows Bill Gates, and who knows who? Tony Fadell from Apple, Steve Jobs, who knows anybody, any random successful person is linked to a lot of other people through their connections. And it's the same, it goes down the hierarchy. In Y Combinator, everybody is connected to everybody, and who's connected to Sam Altman, who can also expand. And so it's a culture. Everything is interconnected. We are constantly improving. Wall Street has a time clock on you every 3 months. Where are your financials? What shows that you are doing better? What have you invented? Like, show us something. Otherwise, we are selling your stock and you are becoming poorer, kind of thing. So people are forced to the wall to keep innovating. If you don't, you'll be left in the dust. BlackBerry had glory for a few years, and then the iPhone came out, and now BlackBerry is basically beans. So if you don't innovate, you're going to be left behind. It's just a culture of consistent innovation. People know each other, people help each other, people make sure you can't slack. And I think that's the culture here. In Ghana, we are now building that. It's very hard, but I'm pretty sure we'll get there, but we have to intentionally do it. I know of people like you, I know of clubs who create, like, there's this code and cocktails kind of thing where a lot of developers come together and just talk. And I think you learn a lot from that, meeting so many different people, having those conversations. So it's a culture. We are building that culture. We are not there yet. So that's what I would say.
Sure. Thank you very much. So we are building that culture, and it starts with you and I. So everyone here, as I keep on saying, get to connect with somebody on the call. You can private chat the person on the call, get the person's LinkedIn, X, connect to the person, chat to the person, share what you are doing. If you are in your bedroom and you are doing something, I will not know what you are doing, and I cannot recommend funding opportunities for you. But once you share, somebody get to see you and somebody get to recommend you for a funding. So Bridget, you have been at Google and you are now working at Netflix. There are many young ladies here. There are many young guys who are into tech. Some have started with HTML, CSS, and other things. They are asking themselves, how can I also get to work at Google? How can I also get to work at Netflix? What advice will you give them?
So first of all, I'll start with like skill development, as we've always said. Trying to find a particular thing and being good at that thing. You should still learn the fundamentals, but like trying to find a specific thing. Like if it's DevOps that you want, if it's Android development that you want, if it's AI that you want, trying to find a specific thing and then try to improve on that skill. And also after like you've improved on that skill, like building a strong portfolio. So it could be a resume, it could be a website to show whatever that you've done. It could be like updating your LinkedIn profile, like in details. It could also be like trying to contribute to open source projects and different things. And then after you've done all these things, you can like start applying. You can look for like referrals if you can get the like referrals from people. And if it's not, if you cannot get a referrals, try to also like apply to like a lot of opportunities, a lot of positions, like have the audacity, don't be afraid, just put applications out there and try to tailor your applications for the different roles that you're applying to. So if you're applying to something like data science, trying to like tailor your resume for like data science stuff. If you're trying to apply for software engineering, trying to tailor those applications to match like whatever they are looking for. And also trying to prepare for interviews, both like soft skills and technical interviews. So looking for, I don't know, like lead code, doing different hacker ranks, having mock interviews with your friends, trying to like learn how to put yourself out there during those interviews, like being, like knowing what to do in those interviews, apart from like the technical part, also like trying to sell yourself when it comes to like the soft skills, team building, and different stuff. Yeah.
Fred.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was speaking. Yeah, so I was saying that Bridget has given us advice from different point, different perspective, and those who are aspiring to work at Google currently, Ghana, we are even having Google here in Ghana. So please, those who are aiming to work at Google Ghana, Amazon, X, and all those things, you can sit down, build yourself, and once you apply, you are actually going to get there. You are actually going to get into those big tech company. So, Felix, I know Felix, you have been in robotics before. You have been a machine learning engineer. You have been an AI engineer. My question for you is, the tech industry is moving fast. What is your advice, or how, as somebody who has been in tech, maybe others who have been just a web developer, what is your advice for me if I want to move into the direction of where the world is going? How then do I get to channel my ideas or my thinking into the artificial intelligence pathway?
Oh, okay, so you mean like somebody who is having a web development skill but I want to transition into AI, or he wants to maintain whatever he's doing? Let me get that
Yes.
place clear.
Yet you want to transition into machine learning or AI, and also continue with the web development, so the person get to have multiple skill sets that makes him or her qualified for these big tech companies like Google, Meta, and other places.
Okay, so in terms of transition, it depends on certain factors. Let's say if you're already working and you are in a company, that means then you have to set aside some time where you learn, right? You learn. And as all my other co-hosts talked about, you have to get a correct or the right mentorship. You have to get somebody who is already there, okay? Somebody who is doing what you want to become. Somebody who is working at a place maybe you want to work at, and then seek for guidance, like put your ego aside, no matter anything at all, just put it aside, and you have to make sure you reach out to that person, explain your situation to the person. Okay, I'm a web developer, this is what I currently do, but I want to transition here. Then the person will, your mentor may ask you certain questions. Why do you want to transition? And fair enough, most people, the idea will be because of money, and then your mentor will advise you on that. Is it because of money, or is it because of passion? Okay, so there may be questions, and then based on those questions, your mentor will tell you, okay, it's good, go into this, follow this particular roadmap, do this or that. But if your mentor can also see directly through you and tell you, okay, instead of transitioning into AI, do this instead. Instead of this, do that instead. And that will save you a whole lot of time. One thing I've realized in Ghana is that like we learn a lot. We even learn things we will not use on the job market, because that's how our country have made us, that you have to be good at so many things before you can even thrive. So that that is not like a drawback, but one way or the other is making our roadmaps very long for us. So if you can get that mentor who will put you, who will guide you and give you a shorter roadmap, or a roadmap to follow, you have at least solved about 70 to 80% of your problem. Because that one alone, just a word of mouth from the mentor alone can save you a whole lot of time and put you on the right track. So that's kind of what I'll tell the person. That's the advice I'll give to someone who wants to transition.
Wow, wow. Okay, so Felix, This is kind of personal question for you. Um, we want to know, we know straight from your undergrad, you just move into the industry. You move into the industry. We want to know how you were able to fit well into the industry, because in Ghana here, we are always being told that, oh, our lecturers are teaching us chew and poor and most of the time. So we want to know, how did you fit into the industry, and how were you able to relate the things you learned in class in the industry?
Oh, okay. This is going to be quite long. So, I always tell myself, if you are in Ghana, right, and you want to land jobs outside, or if you are in Ghana and you want to get a job at like just Adona and Bridget, who are working in Netflix and Meta, if you want to get jobs there, then you have to do it 10 times. Like yours, you don't compare yourself to somebody who is living outside, because like um if there are, let's say, two ways of going somewhere, their way is very short. You are going to suffer. So personally, I'm kind from electrical background, electrical electronics background. So back at SHS, I used to build my own circuits and those kind of things. So I built circuits, build robot toys, and people used to laugh at me though. Like when you go to class, your colleagues like, "What are you doing? What do you think you are doing?" Yeah, but because of the passion, we keep on doing. And by then, I was just doing it. So I just made the research, and I knew that no, for electrical engineering, you have to at least add something like programming to it, so that when you build those robots, you can at least program them. So that was where I got to know about programming as somebody who just graduated from SHS. So I started learning C, C++, and that was where the magic starts to happen. So when I got to the university studying electricals, at the same time I'm coding. So I always tell myself that I've studied two things in the university, because I do a whole lot of computer science and computer stuff, and also do my normal electrical course. And one thing about electricals I love so much is that when you study electrical, you can transition into any field at all, because you learn a lot of physics, a lot of math in electricals. You do calculus up to calculus 4. So you like, it's a field where you learn so many things from other fields. And apart from that, I also, one thing I do is to connect with people. Okay, so whilst in the university, most of my friends are in the computer science department. Okay, so we used to build projects. So imagine like in my years in school, we build projects where we go to different hackathons. We go to different competitions, like Kantanka, like that his stage is very big. So we went there like twice or three times or so, where we presented things and people got to know us. So that also like gingered me to do more, because now you are studying and you have the opportunity to be on these stages and just like that. So every day is like no rest day for me. I really worked hard when I was in school. That time there is no time to play. So immediately, even in school, I started getting recognition. Before level 200, I have companies reach out to me on LinkedIn. I work for a couple of startups where I build features that they use today, which I'm even proud of, because yeah. So I used to work whilst I was in school doing side projects, and everything I do, I make sure I put it out there. I always tell people, even if you write 10 lines of code, you can post it. No, no, there is someone looking at you. Anything you do, just put it out there. So that's the kind of person I am. When you go through all my social media platforms, you see those kind of things, right? Anything I do, I put it out there. I don't care who is watching. I don't care who is looking. I don't care somebody have liked or not. I just put it out there. And through that, I get people reach out to me. Like I started my whole career as a freelancer and I got a whole lot of gigs. And I will just be there. I got a DM from Instagram. We've seen this here, so we wanted to reach out to you if you can build this for us. So yeah, I got that opportunities, and that helped me to also get some capitals to buy certain things, because even in Ghana, to buy some like laptops, this, like we all know, like it's something I will really talk about. I'm not going to hide it. Sometimes as a student, having a computer is a whole lot of issue. And even if you're having a computer, how capable is that computer? So our problem here is big. So you have to do it 10 times. That's all what I always tell myself. So back then, that's what I do, going through it. But I don't even know that this will turn to a career. I don't even know that this is the field I'll be working one day. But it just came by surprise, where now I don't really search for jobs like that. You just be there. And then my current company I'm working, they even reach out to me saying, okay, we've seen what you have been doing, you've built this project, it aligns with what you are doing. Because of that, you are hired. And if the company reach out to you, the interview process will not be tough as you reaching out to a company, because you reaching out, yeah, you reaching out to a company, there are a whole lot of people. That's why I always congratulate people who work at Meta, Netflix. I know I know what they have to go through before they get there. The interview there, yeah. So they have to solve leet code, code force, and all hacker rank and all those. You have to be very good with data structures and algorithm. So the people who are working there, they have to like they know maths. They know maths.
Yeah.
Apart from coding, you have to know how to solve problems. So kudos to Adona, kudos to Bridget. It's not easy. So if you are from Ghana, just get that you have to do it 10 times.
Thanks.
You have to sacrifice sleep. And I think I'm talking too much. Let me pause here.
Yes, so Felix has said it all. You need to do it 10 times. You need to do it 10 times. If you're in Ghana here, you want to work in those big tech companies like where Adonai and Bridget and Felix, they are working in, you need to do it 10 times. And the surprising thing is he didn't study computer science, neither computer engineering, from electrical engineering. So you have no excuse that, oh, I'm doing uh, public administration, I'm doing political science, so I can't learn, I can't do this. NEGOS HuB is there aside the tech talk, aside the community that we have here, which we use to empower the African youth and others. They also teach soft skills like graphic designing, 3D modeling, and a whole lot. So please, you can check them out on LinkedIn. You can also check them out on their social media handles, which I'm sure Abednego will be sharing in the comment section. So moving on to Bridget. Yes, so Bridget, actually, Bridget was my mate from SHS. We all went to Agri Memorial. So, Bridget, I want to ask, moving from Agri Memorial, where we didn't have any knowledge in coding, there was nothing like robotics club, there was nothing like any club that talks about coding. Our ICT was not even that strong. How did you manage to move from Agri to go to Smith College, then from Smith College to Google, then to Netflix? Can you take us through the process and how you were able to change the narrative, how you were able to change your thinking to fit in to their educational system?
Yes. So from Agri, I got the opportunity to study at African Science Academy. It's a school for young Black women in STEM that love to do physics and math. I was there for a year and I wrote SATs. I applied to Smith College was actually like the only school I applied to, and I got in. I got in without I knew a lot about tech, but I didn't really know how to code at all. I couldn't even write like a print statement or anything. So I applied to Smith with computer science in the hopes of changing it to engineering when I get there so that I can just get into the school. When I got there, someone told me that I cannot change my major, which was a lie, but uh, so I got there. I was like, okay, now I have to actually do the computer science. I then have how to code. So I took my first class was in Python. I got a B plus for that class. But I don't think that that was like something that set me like back. It was hard because like coming from a place where you've always been doing good and now like you're getting a B plus for like for a class, but I I really like I mean I had no choice. I thought I couldn't change language. I had no choice than to do great. And in my summer for my first year, I got opportunity to do research in natural language processing, which is NP and NLP, also like AI. And I love that one so much that I was like, okay, now I'm going to actually declare a major in computer science. And I didn't know anything about like applying for jobs, applying for internships. So I joined a club, yes. Color Stack is for Black and Latino like students. And I joined that, and that was when I met a few Ghanaian people that talked to me about like lead coding and like doing interview preps because I didn't really know anything about that. So I did like lead coding interview prep with a few people, and then I applied for my first internship at Qualcomm. I got in, I did 3 months there, and I came back to college. And then I also, so like that was when I actually got into like trying to do like interview preps, a lot of them. And I also applied for Code Path interview prep. It's like also like the color stack, but then like they teach you how to do interview prep. So I think like here we have like the opportunities to like learn different things, which I really appreciate. So I did the color stack for a summer, and then I applied to Google and I got in. I did Google for 3 months, and then I came back to complete college. I think from Google it was kind of easier because like when you have Google on your resume, it's not very, very easy, but like companies actually do recognize you. And I applied to Netflix and I went through the interview process and I got in. Yeah. Let me know if you have any questions.
Wow. So you could see her journey, though being there wasn't easy. Moving from Ghana, transitioning to that big tech company wasn't easy. She had to also go through the stress, change the thinking that, oh, this kind of question, lead code is for this group of people, is for some group of people, some nerds, some group of, no. She also told herself that this is what I wanted to do, and she spent time sleepless night, which Felix will also bear witness. Like you don't have to sleep. That's the truth. You don't have to sleep. So the ladies here who want to be at Netflix, Google, Meta, like any company at all, try as much as possible to spend time on this platform. You cannot do all, but at least the little you can do as time goes on, you better up from them. So Adonai, this one too is for you. We know you were once the science and maths contestant for OWAS. And I think the moment we started the program, somebody said Adonai speed. It means you had fantastic speed at the speed race. Yeah. So Adonai, most of the time in Ghana, we do talk against the science and maths. Some people do say, oh, the science and maths, no, and who here is not that needed, is this and that and that. We want to know, how did the science and maths shape you or prepare you for Meta? How did they change you? How did it make you ready for such a big company like Facebook?
So I think it depends on who you ask. Even some people who did, I know a friend of Bridget's, she's also at Netflix, but she's not happy that she did the science and math quiz. So pros and cons. Personally, I think it was very helpful for me. And I don't think everybody needs to do the science and math quiz to get the same benefits. I think I can list out the benefits personally. The science and math quiz gave me, I think, two main things. Number one, it taught me how to hustle and work hard, because you have to work hard to achieve a goal. It's an easy loop. You can see when you are doing well, when you're not doing well. So you can find that thing for you, which would give you that sense, which would teach you how to learn, how to consistently improve over an extended period of time, how to become better, become somebody that you personally admire. And so that was the first thing. And the second thing is it built a brand. So as Bridget said, Google on your resume says a lot. In Ghana, after high school, NSMQ on your resume says a lot. And so I think it opened doors for me to go to Tufts University to study for my undergrad. And that opened doors for the next step, which was an internship at Microsoft, and then and then a full-time role at Meta. But I don't think that it is needed to do the same things. I just think that there are benefits. So you have to find that thing for you, which would give you those two things. Teach you how to learn, how to keep improving, how to grow, give you that nice loophole, that nice feedback loop of improvement, continuous improvement. And then on the other end, you also want to be able to build credentials, something. I've been able to achieve this in my life. And so anybody who's looking at my resume now would say, hey, I think you're a good fit for this, or I'd like to have you on this. So now that Bridget has Google and Netflix on her resume, the next step would be much easier than nothing to Google, and easier than Google to Netflix, because she has that resume. And so try to build out credentials and also learn how to learn, because if you want, we come back to the topic of the difference between Silicon Valley and other places, the loop of consistent improvement has to be, it has to come with constant learning, because what it takes to get something off the ground, a paper airplane off the ground, it's not the same thing that it takes to get giant metal plane off the ground. It's not the same thing it takes to get a rocket to the moon. And so you have to keep learning. What is the next thing? What's the next thing? And that's why there's no end. So in 10 years, maybe everybody here will be talking about something else and will be learning new skills, but you have to know how to learn so that by that time you'll be fine. When I was coming to Meta, when I was going to Microsoft, I was not prepared for Microsoft. When I was coming to Meta, I was not prepared for Meta. There's no point where you are prepared because a lot of the tools are very internal. You just have to know how to learn so that when it's presented to you, you can pick it up fast.
Wow, wow, wow. You just have to know how to learn. So we are bringing our tech talk to a close, but we have to take some questions from the participant or from the audience. So please, if you have any question, leave it in the comment section. I'll read it out loud so that our panelists will address them for us. This is the opportunity. If you have anything aside those ones that they have tackled, if you think there's anything that you want them to address, you can leave them in the comment section and I will read it out. Okay, so I think this is a question from Derek Amwatin and Bridget, because you have been at Google, you will answer this for us. Derek is asking, what if I don't have huge accomplishment, which Google does not have? Well, I don't get the question, but I'm sure the person is trying to mean, what if I don't have huge accomplishment, which Google, which might not give me advantage to Google? What else do you think I can do to give me that advantage to join Google?
I think I mean we all start from somewhere. So my first kind of work was a researcher at my school for natural language processing, which wasn't something that I wanted. I really liked, but because I couldn't be where I wanted to be, I felt like it was an opportunity for me to learn and also have like an experience on my resume. So you don't have to like work at big companies. You can like start from like a small place and then get there, or you can start from a small place and just like be there forever because like if that's really what you want. It's not like all about the names, like what like align with what you actually want.
Okay. I think another person is asking question regarding Google also. The person is asking, please, how do I become successful with Google AdSense as a publisher? Google AdSense. Do you have any knowledge in that or anything you want to share with us?
I think I responded to this before. I don't know what that is yet because I've left Google for like a year now. But I do have some friends that can reach out to and ask them like what that is and like how they can become successful in that. So they can reach out to me on LinkedIn for an answer.
Okay. So yes, Bridget will be dropping her LinkedIn handle in the comment section so that Ernest Arthur, you can reach out to her so that she can get somebody who will give you more information on that. Yes, so Felix, this is for you. Emmy is asking, what are some of the mistakes you have seen young people make and what can be done to solve it? Young people, specifically those in tech. Yes, so briefly, you can
Yeah,
address
all
that.
right. So okay, so yeah, this is a big problem, especially in our ecosystem here. The mistake young people I see young people make is like they are misled. Like you see somebody who wants to do this, he started, then he moves to another thing. Like they don't have that concrete roadmap. They don't know what they want to become. I've seen a whole lot of people started with let's say front-end development. In the next month, that same person who said he has started with mobile development. Another next month to come, the same person will tell you now he wants to start with machine learning and AI. So one thing about tech is that even though you have to learn a whole lot of things, but you have to master a niche. You have to master something. So master what you think can get you a job. Okay, that thing you think you love it, you love doing it, you can do it even for free, master that thing. Then on the job market, whilst you are working for a company, you can be mastering another thing so that you also stay relevant, and then you can also move from one company to another. So the thing remains that like many young people don't know what they want to become. They just follow the hype, and that's what is very misleading. It's misleading about the whole thing.
Wow. Okay, so thank you very much, Felix. Thank you very much. So please, I think all the questions in the comment section have been addressed, and I don't know whether there's going to be any more such question, but in case maybe you want to speak out, you can also put up your hand. I'll allow you to be able to speak. I think time is far spent on our side. We
There's
spent.
another question.
Okay, yeah.
How do you know the field you want to master or get into as a student in computer science and engineering? And also, how do you get an internship in Google as a student in Ghana without projects for resume yet?
Okay, Adonai, can you please address that for us? Maybe you can use Microsoft or Meta for us.
Okay, can she please repeat the second part of the question for me?
She's asking that assuming she's not having any mega project on her resume to show recruiters that have done this and that, what can she do aside the project to get into Meta or Microsoft or Google?
So, to be very honest with you, I think you need a project. You need credentials, and one of the best ways to learn is to do a project. Felix said he did side projects. He was even working while he was studying. Bridget said she advised that you do a side project. She said she did side projects as well. Projects, those side projects really help. They are the things that show the recruiter that you have these skills, and you don't just have the skills. You've not just read them, but if you utilize the skills to make something, and it gives them a good idea of how well versed you are with that thing. I think you should go to YouTube, find a video, any skill it is that you want to practice. There's probably a free YouTube video out there that someone is using that skill, that tool, that framework to build something. Go there, just follow what they are doing, finish, upload that thing to GitHub, and add that to your resume, and you'd be good to go. I think I would really suggest that you do that, because there's nothing in the world that shows that you are good at doing something more than concrete work. So that's the second part of your question. For the first part of your question, for what to focus on, you really can't know. What you think you want to focus on today, in some months, in some years, some decades, you might decide, you know what, I'm going to change this. I don't want to do this any longer, or I want to do something else more. So you can't know for sure. What you should do is look at your options, write pros and cons, think, if I do this, what am I missing out here? If I do that, what am I missing out there? Really get down to the root, like write the stuff down so that you really understand your thought process and make a decision. The most important thing is that you make a decision, because if you make a decision, some days, some weeks, some months, some years down the line, you can be like, okay, I don't want to do this thing, but I have accumulated skills, resources, I have networked with people, and I can leverage those to go down this other path that I actually decide now that I want to do. The most important thing is that you make a decision and you go down that route, get feedback fast, and determine for yourself that I think I want to do this, or I think I don't want to do this any longer. And that would be the best thing for you, at least in my opinion. I think other people can also contribute.
Yeah, Bridget, thank you very much, Adonai. Bridget, do you have anything else to add?
Yeah, as I was saying, I think like if you don't have like any kind of experience, like a research experience or an internship experience, or even if you do, I do think like having like projects on your resume is like very, very, very important. And I cannot stress like on that enough. And also like it doesn't have to be like a startup or anything. Like you learned a new project, you can go And then also you can go on YouTube and find like how somebody is using that knowledge that you know to build a project. You can follow that, change a little things around, and then now that project kind of become your own. You can put it on GitHub and like put it on your resume. Also, you can also like contribute to like open source like projects. Like people have like things added that you can also contribute to and add that to your project, like your resume. So it doesn't have to be like a unique idea from you, just something to show that you've actually learned the skill.
Wow. Okay, Ernest, your hand is up. Ernest, if you can unmute and speak. We have only 2 minutes left, so let's be fast. Yeah, Ernest, please, we can't hear you. Ernest, we can't hear you. I don't know whether it's only me. Can anyone else hear him?
It's loud and clear.
Yeah, we can hear him.
It's my
Okay,
voice.
I think they said they can hear you, so you can speak.
Okay. So this question goes to Adonai. I want to ask how one can master the Facebook algorithm in terms of advertisements, how run a successful campaign as an advert.
You are Mark to be after him, right?
Charlie, that question is difficult for multiple reasons. Number one, I haven't looked at that code. I'm not on the team that does that. And number two, it always changes. Everything changes. At Meta, there's a saying, move fast, break things. You probably heard that before. Now they've changed it to move fast, something else. They didn't like the break things part, but I think code changes quickly. The algorithm it'll keep improving. Some things will stay the same, but a lot of things will change. And so I apologize for not being able to answer this one question. I just can't. Because even if I knew the answer, in some months down the line, it would change. So
it would change, sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. I think
Before that,
yes,
there is
sure.
someone is asking a question. Is it Derek Amwathen, if I'm mentioning your name right? He is asking, what skill would you recommend I learn to make me stand out in the field, in my field? Okay. For instance, as a miner, what skill apart from my field work will you suggest I learn? Okay, so someone as a miner, if you want to perfect your skill, one thing I don't know much about mining, but one thing I know about mining is that you guys produce ton of data. I think you use a lot of machines, right? If I'm not mistaken, you use a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
machines, like so you can gather, let's say, geological data or even get data from these machines, and then you start learning how to analyze this data. Okay, like something like that. It can be something small. Every day you put in some data points. You can use tools like Excel, maybe when you go, we take Python, then Pandas and all those stuff to analyze the data. With time, when you have enough data, you can now transition even into machine learning in your own field, whereby you can analyze some of the lifespan of these machines, you can predict them. So that's maybe one thing I could think about, but maybe my other colleagues can also add up there. But as a miner, I think something like that would also help you and will also make you stand out in your field.
Yes, so I think I'll also add something small to what Felix said. So I think currently for the mining sector, I'm sure this person is a student from UMAT. The mining sector currently, the number currently UMAT they are producing is too much, and not everybody is going to get employed in the mining sector. So you have to really upgrade yourself. And how? If you have these tech skills, it's going to actually help you a lot. I remember back in UMAT, we had this guy, Duncan. Yes, Duncan was a mining student, but he was also a great software engineer, a great one. He was also working at San Francisco. That was the time we were in school. You get it. And this is a guy that he was good in the mining aspect, and he was also good with the computing aspect. So if they are putting two guys there, I'm sure they are going to pick that guy, because at the end of the day, they don't have to pick somebody who is in the tech space to come and do their work for them. This guy is there to do all the two. So you get it. So please try as much as possible. I know currently you guys are doing artificial intelligence in mining and other things. Try as much as possible to learn. Don't go the manual way or the traditional way. Try as much as possible to learn something new to add to your skills as a minor. So I think all the questions in the comments in the comment section is we have answered all. So before
Hello, Frederick. Please, there are other
yes.
questions in the chat.
Oh, there's another question there.
Yes, Anita is asking, please, as an electrical engineering student, can you do a master's in another course which isn't related to electrical?
Okay.
And another person who is asking, what are some effective strategies for building a personal brand as a tech professional?
Okay, so I think this question, the current one, building the brand, Bridget, you tackle that for us. Then the former one, Felix, you also tackle that. Then the last question, which I'll be reading out very soon, you also be tackling that for us. So, Bridget, if you can do justice to the question for us, building your brand online.
Sure. So I would say if you are kind of very outgoing and you want your business out, like you want to sell yourself effectively, you can be posting on LinkedIn in like every small thing that you do, or like every big thing that you do, you can be posting it on LinkedIn. And I also recommend having like a personal like website or a portfolio where you can like add your different projects, because mostly we just add like two to three projects on our resume. And if you have a lot of projects, you wouldn't know like where to put them. So you can have a website where you have like all your projects. You have like a small video showing like what the project, like the project does. Also, you can also have like a GitHub account that like you make public so that like recruiters can see whatever you're working on. So for the GitHub, your brand doesn't have to be done before you can like put it out there. You can like keep on like updating it as you're working on the project, so that it's easier for you to like not just wait until you're done before you like people get to see what you're working on.
Okay. Okay, I'm sure that question, Bridget has answered it for us. So, Felix, in case somebody want to transition from, I'm sure you heard the question. Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
So he said,
sure.
Want to transition from electricals, but can you specify, let's say, the where you want to transition into? Because with electricals, you can transition into many fields. Okay, you can learn something we call mechatronics, whereby you learn a little bit of IT, you learn a little bit of like how to program, how to do robotics, mechanical stuff. So all like it's like a whole package. You can like transition into computer science and learn about how to program, because basically you, even as an electrical engineer, I don't know, in my school where I went, I took programming courses. We did C and C++, even studying electricals. We took those things as courses. So it's very possible to transition there. And I've seen that you said you have, or is it Arduino? Okay, yeah. So Arduino is a good start. It's very, very good. I also use the Arduino a lot when I was starting out. Like I use Arduino a lot. So it's a very nice thing. It will help you to understand C, C++. And once you understand those languages, learning other languages becomes very easy for you. So you can transition. You should just have the path for where you want to go, and then you work towards that. And to add to that, where we have gotten to in the world now, I would say a lot of things depend on you and not let's say others, or not everything depends on you. Even if you have learned, let's say, building and construction, you want to become a computer scientist, you want to become something today, you can become that. All depends on you. Are you ready to put in the work? I do speak with big engineers who are in big companies, and they study something in business, right? But today they are working as a big tech engineers, doing a whole lot of things. So all depends on you, where you want to go into, what you want to go into. Now, I don't think it matters much about what you study back in school. You can become what you want if you are ready to put in the work. So thank you.
Thank you very much. So, as Felix has said, and it's so true, I think recently an offer I had from a company, robotics company, when I went, they told me they needed somebody with mechanical field, both mechanical, electrical, and computer field combined. And here's the case, I only did computer science and engineering. So the role they had to give me, I had to be reading research papers, I have to be writing technical blog posts, I have to be doing most of the mechanical stuff and a whole lot of, and as Adonai said earlier on, you need to know how to learn. So I was given just 1 week to catch up with everything. I had to spend sleepless nights, make sure that I'm able to catch up, because there was nothing like excuse that I didn't do this. The moment they give me the task, there's deadline attached, and I'm supposed to deliver within that time frame. So be ready to learn. Just position your mind that I want to make the difference, and you will be able to do that. Yes, so in the absence of any question, we want our panelists to just leave in we'll be giving them 30 seconds to share with us something that they want all of us, or the whole Africa, they want us to hear. And I'll be starting with Bridget, because ladies first. So Bridget, any advice for young tech and entrepreneurs in Africa? Any advice for us? 30 seconds.
I'll first say thank you so much for this opportunity. I actually have learned a lot from the panelists and also the pitch. I would say that for us as Africans, I feel like we have so much in us, and we should have the audacity to do the things that we want to do. We shouldn't be afraid of doing anything. We can do it.
You can do it. Thank you. Adonai?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Just to add to what Bridget said, I think the one thing that's holding us back is, in fact, it's not one thing, it's three things. There's fear. That's the first thing. We have not been making the moves, making the crazy moves, raising money like crazy. The Nigerians are making unicorns, and we are not, simply because they have the confidence to go out and raise the money and to try hard and make those revenues and profits. Number two is that we need a community. We need to build our communities. We need to build our tech communities, our founder communities, really help each other and build each other up. And number three, please and please again, buy computers for your kids so that we can all get the talent from the ground up, start early and build up. And I think we'll be fine. I think we'll create the greatest, the Silicon Valley of Africa in no time.
Thank you very much. The Silicon Valley of Africa in no time. So Felix?
For me, I'll start by saying it's hard to become a techie here in Ghana. To be more specific, it's very hard, but that shouldn't stop you, because I believe you can become whomever you want to become, regardless of where you live, if only you are ready to put in the work. So that's all. If you can put in the work, you can become whomever, like whoever. If today you want to become the world richest person and you are ready to put in the work, you can become that. So it's always about, are you ready to put in the work? Just ask yourself. When you ask yourself, I want to become like this, am I ready to put in the work? That's all. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys. It's hard, but don't give up.
It's hard, but don't give up. Thank you very much, Felix. Thank you very much, our panelists. And my name is Frederick, and it was nice time having you all on the show. And I will leave it to our moderator, Emanuela. Yes, Emanuela. So thank you very much. And let's get in touch. You can connect with somebody in the comment section. Get to connect with somebody before we end the session. So Emanuela, over to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Frederick. And thank you to all our panelists. I really learned a lot from tonight's session. Learned that I shouldn't give up. I should have the audacity. And I should buy a computer for my future child. And so we are about to end the session. And to give us the vote of thanks, I'd like to invite Nanaya.
Yeah, I think she's not on the call, so we go ahead here.
Okay. And okay, I'd like to call I'd like to call Selassie to give us a closing prayer, and then we can leave.
Hey, Manuela. Okay. Okay, we are praying. Father, we thank you for bringing us together, this wonderful people, and coming together as one people to learn, to have our questions answered, to learn great things from these people that have gone ahead of us. And we are grateful for their lives. And we are grateful for NEGOS HuB bringing them together. We pray that even as we imbibe all these strategies and all this knowledge, you give us the boldness and the audacity to do that which you've called us to do. In Jesus' name I pray, thanksgiving. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, Selassie. Thank you all for joining us. Please have a good evening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
We need to build the Silicon Valley in Kumasi.
Sure.
Thank you all.
I don't know. Do you think Kumasi will be the best place?
Oh, I'll be Kumasi boy, so where else? It has to be in Kumasi.
Kumasi.
Actually, what would you say?
Kumasi.
Yeah. Thank you all. And this was fantastic.
So much. I learned a lot. Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Praise Cabinet Champion. Leave the site.